After watching 23 seasons and 456 episodes of Family Guy, I've reached one conclusion. Quagmire sucks.
Oh, hey, forgot about you guys.
Yes, a lot of people love his humor, but sometimes it goes a little too far. He's basically addicted to the ladies for...
Do you have a more comfortable chair? This one's really hurting my back.
Oh my god, Quagmire!
that. And let's just say he's a little too ambitious. This fast-talking, Hawaiian shirt-wearing nymphomaniac has been doing the weirdest and quite literally illegal stuff on the show since the pilot, and his questionable antics have only gotten worse with time. And despite being the favorite character of many, I think it would absolutely suck for anyone to be born as Quagmire, and here's why.
Well, hello-ish.
1. He's a bad father.
Giggity!
Seth MacFarlane, the runner of Family Guy, said that whenever Quagmire gets down with the ladies, the deed is always done without protection. Obviously, using no protection has its consequences, and it's almost always unwanted children. In Season 7 of the show, Quagmire's army of children is shown for the first time.
Peter is your son?
That is affirmative.
Because you look a lot more like that child over there.
Daddy?
Oh, God!
And most of whom are enrolled in the local elementary school.
Daddy?
Oh, God!
Papa?
Oh, God!
But it was in the episode Quagmire's Baby when his bad parenting was exposed. One of his many estranged daughters was left on his doorstep, and he did look after her for the episode. And well, that was his limit.
Just stop crying. Stop crying, Annalie. Oh, no wonder. You dropped your pacifier.
He couldn't let his daughter become a hurdle in his otherwise manic and bachelor lifestyle. So instead of manning up and changing himself for the better, he gives away the child for adoption.
I will. I just... Here. She'll go to a good home, right?
Oh, yes.
Now, I know many would disagree because he's one of the most favorite characters from the show. This was barely an excuse not to be a father to his child. 2. Committing sexual harassment. On the other hand, compared to how badly Quagmire avoids becoming a father, it's almost a good thing he didn't look after his daughter. You see, Quagmire's most highlighted characteristic is that he loves sleeping with women.
Package for Glenn Quagmire?
Oh, excuse me. I got a package for you, too. All right. Nice try, but I built up an immunity.
I mean, doesn't everybody? But Quagmire's case is different. He loves it to the point where he doesn't really care about the law. Throughout the show, he's seen drugging women, taking advantage of them while they're unconscious.
But you can't pause me!
I can't breathe!
And even harassing Marge by dragging her from the bottom of the screen against her will.
Expectation that it could grow into something much more significant, and if you're just stringing her along, well then I gotta say, I've lost a lot of respect for you, Brian.
That's a legendary level of being a creep. Thankfully, Quagmire's just a fictional character.
Reach into the cookie jar.
Well, I can't just, you're my best friend's wife, reach in there. All right.
Yeah, you go in and get that. Show that fishy who's boss.
Loretta, they have some of that 3-bean salad you're so fond of.
Otherwise, his jail sentence would have been longer than the unskippable ads on YouTube. 3. Keeping sex slaves. The weirdest thing about Quagmire is that almost all of his activities are sexual and criminal. For example, in the episode Airport 07 in Season 5, a ton of Quagmire's sex slaves were accidentally freed. And to make things even worse, Peter accidentally crashes into Quagmire's garage, and there stand at least a dozen more women.
You got a pickup truck, see?
Well, come on.
They all start to run away from Quagmire's house, and he obviously gets frustrated. And if this wasn't odd enough, what Quagmire said next was perhaps one of the most disturbing things ever on the show.
Don't worry about it.
We can go after them.
Don't worry about it. They're tagged. Just get me to the airport.
I'm sure that's illegal. It's a miracle how he's not behind bars yet. But he's done a ton of other questionable things too. Like, 4. Spreading STDs. Obviously, when you're addicted to sex, it also comes with a whole set of new problems. In an episode where Joe Swanson and Peter try to infect Quagmire with all kinds of STDs and STIs known to mankind, he confidently says that he's either already infected or is a carrier of every single disease.
Meningitis.
I'm a carrier.
Gonorrhea.
Patient 0. You're gonna have to do better than that.
I don't know, Joe. That's it. We're out of known diseases.
That's a weird flex. But we're talking about the weirdest character in sitcom history, so it's not as surprising. The problem is that he doesn't just proudly boast about the diseases, he continues to sleep with women despite knowing that he's spreading all these germs to his partners too. But wait, that's not all. We're just getting started. 5. Being a pedophile. But the silver lining is that all the women he's been with, consensual or non-consensual, were at least adults. Or were they?
And we could still make our reservation.
What? Why? We already had
If you've watched the show, you probably remember the unsavory words Quagmire used for Susie Swanson and how he continuously went after Meg, trying to lure her into his world of, let's just say, horrors.
Hey, where's that pinky going, huh? Where's he going?
It won't really surprise anybody if we find out that Quagmire has been involved with more than a few underage girls throughout the show. This is because in the episode Quagmire's Mom,
Kira, that was an amazing night. Sorry I can't drive you to work. I gotta go sit in my den until you leave.
Oh, that's okay. I'll just take the school bus.
Wait, what? You drive a school bus?
No, silly. I take the bus. I'm in high school.
he was busted by the Quahog police for sleeping with Kira, who was underage at the time.
Did you have this underage girl?
I don't want to go to jail, but I really want to take credit.
He did get a 20-year prison sentence,
I have no choice but to sentence you to 20 years in prison.
but thanks to his mom who slept with the judge, he didn't serve any time.
Hello, Glenn.
Mom? What's going on here? By the way, Your Honor, your fly is down.
Well, let's just say some new DNA evidence was produced.
And an impressive amount, I'd say.
The other side of the story is that Kira did lie about being 23 before sleeping with Quagmire.
What the hell? You said you were 23!
Yeah, and you said you love me.
Well, I guess you got me there.
He wasn't really sorry even after he got arrested. The odds are that he's probably done such activities multiple times. Sadly, he was caught doing it only once. 6. Filming women without consent. That Quagmire still would be the poster child of being a pervert. You see, he's been caught multiple times filming women in washrooms, over fences, through windows, and even behind curtains. He's a bona fide peeping Tom, if you will. He's been filling up his camera reel with such films since season 1, and every single one of these cases has been against the will of the women he's recorded. Most shockingly, he's even been caught filming women through hidden cameras that he remotely controls. Sadly, he was caught doing it only once, just like he was caught 7. Beating Brian. Ironically, no matter what Quagmire does, he always justifies it. However, if somebody else does something that's not even wrong, he'll just get defensive about it. The perfect example of Quagmire going apeshit is when Brian, his arch enemy in the show, gets intimate with his trans father. In season 8, Quagmire's father underwent surgery and changed his gender. Brian had no idea who he or she was at the time, and they got intimate.
So I finally tell them, hey, I came here to be at the seminar, not run it.
Later, when Quagmire found out about it, he started to get upset and attacked Brian uncontrollably. Like, if you sleep with women, enslave them, and even record anyone, it's fine. But if another person does it with consent, you're gonna start throwing hands? That's just crazy. Obviously, having a close acquaintance who is involved with someone in your close family is a weird thing, but hitting Brian was a bit of an overreaction, right? This shows Quagmire's uncontrollable freakiness and how self-centered he is.
Hey, I your dad.
In simple words, he's a jackass. 8. Constantly lying. And you know what they do? They lie about everything to save themselves.
I heard you were coming to town. I figured I should introduce myself.
You see, Quagmire is an eternal bachelor, and his lifestyle just sucks.
Oh, that was great.
Thanks. I know you have a choice in airport sex, and I appreciate your choosing Quagmire. Please exercise caution when standing up, as the contents of your vagina may have shifted during coitus.
He's like an unhinged college dorm room living guy who does what he wants, when he wants, any way he wants. But despite that, he's actually been married a couple of times throughout the 18 seasons of Family Guy. I don't know how he managed that, but I pity the ladies who saw Quagmire and thought, hell yeah, I'll marry this guy. But as expected, neither of these marriages lasted for too long.
Who is it?
It's the Purge. We're here to beat you up.
Mwah, mwah, mwah.
Coming up, one pizza with alternative crust.
Oh, yummy, yummy.
Quagmire always found the worst possible excuse to get out of these marriages because he just can't live the life of monogamy.
Glenn, are you okay?
No, I'm not okay. I thought I could do this, but I can't. I've been lying to you, and I've been lying to myself. There's something you need to know. I hate dogs.
No surprise there. He's a nymphomaniac after all. For example, in season 11's episode titled Giggity Wife, Quagmire got married to a prostitute named Charmise.
I was obviously very, very drunk. This whole thing is a huge mistake. Now we gotta fix this right away.
Charming, right? Well, soon after, he realized that getting married meant that if they were ever to get divorced, the charming hooker would take away everything Quagmire has in a split second.
If you divorce her, she'll probably get everything you have.
But can we really expect Quagmire to put in any effort to make a marriage or hell, even a relationship work?
Do you charge black guys more or less?
That's a hard question to answer. Most of them get a group rate.
Come on now, let's not talk about work. It's a dinner party.
He got drunkenly married to a hooker. To make things worse, when Quagmire realized that he'd lose everything, he started to act gay.
What the hell's your problem? What are you, gay or something?
Excuse me?
You heard me. You some kind of mo? Oh, God, please tell me I'm not married to some Nancy boy.
Hoping that she would leave so he wouldn't have to give her anything. Peter was his choice of partner to carry on this facade, and it was an uncomfortable thing to watch on its own.
Let me stroke your hair.
Thank you. I want to do gay things for you.
I crave your groin.
Yes, and I cannot wait to intertwine our bodies and make each other's fingers smell terrible.
Point is, Quagmire is a manipulative, exploitative, and pathological liar.
Stop. Look, Glenn, you're obviously not gay.
Yes, I am!
Well, I'm something, because I've been at full sail for the last half hour.
He would do anything, no matter how absurd, to get out of the trouble he put himself in. To hell with anybody else around him, because as long as he's getting what he wants, it's all good. Oh, by the way, pretending to be gay isn't even the worst excuse he had made up to get out of a marriage.
Saying, I'll give you your divorce. You're off the hook.
Oh, thank you, Charmise. Thank you so much.
In season 4's episode titled I Take the Quagmire, he proposed to a woman named Joan right after their second date.
What is it, Glenn?
Joan, I've decided I want to spend my life with you. Will you marry me?
Desperate enough, Quagmire? Well, after the proposal, he found out that Joan was crazy.
Some of the guys thought we should get a divorce.
What?
But I told them they didn't know what they were talking about.
Good, because if you ever left me, I'd have to cut myself, and then I'd cut you.
Now, I gotta give this to Quagmire, because why would anybody want to spend the rest of their life with a woman who starts a relationship like this? But wait, Quagmire still isn't an angel in all of this. They got married, and then when Quagmire realized that being married wasn't for him, he made up the worst excuse ever to get away from Joan.
Sweetheart, is he all right?
No, he's dead. I can tell I'm a cop.
He literally faked a heart attack and his death, making Joan believe that she was widowed. Let's stop here for a second, because how sick is that? He was the one who proposed to her after just 2 dates. He could have taken some time, gotten to know her, and then decided. But no! Mr. Quagmire wanted to take her home forever for God knows what reason. Call me whatever, but there's no logical reason that can justify faking your own death just to get out of a marriage you entered into yourself. Obviously, his plan fails halfway through the funeral because Joan defends Quagmire against death and ironically ends up dead herself. Basically, Quagmire got what he wanted, but at what cost? He lied to save himself from a marriage he initiated. But that's not even the worst thing he's done, because in one episode, Quagmire crossed all the lines of being a creep.
I'm sorry, but Mondays are Asian only. Why is your last name Wong?
It's my married name.
As we already know, Quagmire's addiction to hookers is off the rails. He literally hired Chris as his assistant to book appointments for the women he likes to see.
I'd like to see her again in 2 weeks.
Of course. Mr. Quagmire can fit in you at 3 o'clock a week from Thursday.
That works.
Quagmire offered a special lottery of sorts where he told Chris to ask his ladies to leave their underwear in a fishbowl, which would then be used to conduct a lottery and announce the winner of a free lunch. And for all of these reasons and many others...
Sir, is everything all right?
I'm fine. Oh, hey, you on Tinder?
I think it would suck to be born as Quagmire. Let me know what you think of Quagmire and his
giggity.
And if you enjoyed this video, subscribe to the channel for more funny content. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.
Did you have sex with my daughter?
Peter, trust me, it's not happening.
All right, good.
Yeah, she's really making me work for it. Maybe you could talk to her.
Well, I'll try. But sometimes she can be as stubborn as a mule.